Welcome everyone to Garrett Green Gaming. This is Garrett Green, and today I want to talk about the Xbox Developer Direct. So the other day, Xbox put on their first big showcase of the year, and I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty damn good. It was pretty epic. They showed off 5 games. They showed Doom: The Dark Ages, South of Midnight, Expedition 33, Ninja Gaiden 4, and then they shadow dropped Ninja Gaiden 2 Remake on Game Pass and other platforms. And it was really good, not gonna lie. And the best thing about it for me is that there was release dates, and the release dates were all coming very soon. I think 2 of them were in April, one was in May, one was shadow dropped, and then the other one's coming out later this year. So that was really good, and the gameplay looked awesome on all the games, honestly, especially like Doom: The Dark Ages. That game looks pretty insane, insane. I'm not gonna lie. And I am someone who has been critical of Xbox, and I'm also someone who's been a PlayStation fan my whole life. I've always loved PlayStation. PlayStation was my first console. Um, and there was always kind of that, console war rivalry between PlayStation and Xbox, and that was happening back in the PS2 and PS3 era, even, not just now with the crazy stuff you see on Twitter. Um, but yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it was a great showcase for Xbox, and I will say when you pay 80 billion for Activision and Bethesda, you better start having some games now because the first couple of years of the generation they basically had nothing. So it's good to see that they finally have games. Now I don't like when companies monopolize and buy up all these studios. I don't think that's good for the industry. I think that's bad. So I did not support them buying either Activision or Bethesda. I don't think it's good for consumers in the long run. But I will say, as long as they keep producing the games and don't harm these studios, then some good could maybe come from it. I think the other big story coming out of the showcase was not only how good these games looked and how soon they're coming, but it's also that they are now coming to PlayStation. At least 4 of the 5 that were shown are coming to PlayStation. And that's a big topic. I for one like exclusives, and even if I were an Xbox guy, I would want exclusives. I am technically an Xbox guy because I have an Xbox Series X and a PlayStation 5. So it would actually be more value for me to have Xbox exclusives. It would give me a better reason to have an Xbox. Because if they're sending all their games to PlayStation, then why did I even get an Xbox? I think that's a big talking point that's going around. Um, and, I think it'll continue to come up now that PlayStation's getting a lot of Xbox games. But I will say, although I've also been critical of like Game Pass, I don't like, the huge emphasis on a subscription service, a rental service even, and not owning your games. I like to have like control and ownership of my games, even though some will argue like you don't even own the games, it's a license anyway. That's a whole nother discussion for another day, but the more control over my games for me, the better. But I will say, like, Game Pass is going to be looking really, really good in April and May, even with, the increase in price of, $20 a month now for Game Pass Ultimate. Even at that price, April and May will be really, really good for Game Pass. So I plan on being subscribed to Game Pass on those months. I think November and December, October of last year were pretty good Game Pass months too, but April and May will be pretty good. Although deciding, I haven't decided yet, but I'm going to decide whether or not I will buy these games on PlayStation or just play them on Game Pass. Something I got to decide for myself. But anyway, I think this gives me a little bit of a chance to talk about Xbox as a whole because I've always been more of a PlayStation guy, like I said. And in fact, I just started making videos, and one of my first videos is about PlayStation's live service disaster. So, as a PlayStation fan, I'm immediately going from bad PlayStation to good Xbox news. So, it's kind of interesting, but I want to be, objective on what I'm seeing about this. Um, I want Xbox to do good. I want them to succeed. That'll help PlayStation more. If PlayStation has competition, that's good. What I don't want to see is Xbox or PlayStation just gobbling up more studios and buying up the whole industries, especially these large publishers. So, without going too much into what has already happened, the past is the past. They bought the studios. They're getting rid of exclusives. They're focusing on Game Pass. I think what I want to see going forward, specifically for Xbox, is at this point just make good games. You got the studios, you got the developers now. Whatever you have, don't buy any more. Just use the developers you have now and make great games. Make great games. Put them wherever you want. I would still be fine if they had exclusives. South of Midnight right now is going to be exclusive at first. Avowed is going to be exclusive at first. I would rather see Xbox have exclusives, and I'm saying that as a PlayStation fan. I want Xbox to have exclusives. That puts more pressure on PlayStation. It gives more value to the Xbox instead of going, everything is an Xbox. This is an Xbox. I don't like that because that's like gaslighting. That stuff is not an Xbox. An Xbox is an Xbox. It's a box called the Xbox. It was built to be a console for Microsoft, not to be a PC, a handheld, or all these other things. So, they're it's too late for that though. They're going in that direction, which is fine at this point. The big thing they can do now is make great games. That's what I want to see. And that'll help the whole industry. That'll help PlayStation, and that'll help gaming. So that's pretty much all I have to say about that. So thanks for watching. I'll be back with more videos soon. See ya.